Zombies are probably the most used enemy in video games. I can't tell you how many zombies I've slain over the years, but I'll always remember the first game I fought zombies in, and that was a little gem called Left 4 Dead. Developed by Turtle Rock Studios and released in 2008, Left 4 Dead has a very simple premise. You and 3 other survivors must travel between safe rooms to reach an escape vehicle over 4 campaigns while fighting against hordes of zombies, including special infected, which have unique abilities like trapping the player or attracting more zombies to attack you. While it might not seem like much, Left 4 Dead was a massive success, receiving a ton of positive reviews and selling over 3 million copies in its first year. The fast-paced action and great gameplay are really what elevates it over most zombie games. It blends together that tense feeling of danger from running between safe rooms while being surrounded by enemies with the feeling of being an action movie hero that's taking on hordes of enemies with ease. And with the massive positive response this game received, it's no surprise a sequel came out only a year later, and while Valve had their in-house development team handle a majority of it, the original team did make several DLC packs for the sequel, and they were pretty fun to play through. The team was so successful, in fact, that they ended up splitting from Valve and forming their own studio, and they were able to make their very first AAA video game, which was... oh no. Yeah, to call Evolve a failure would be an understatement. The game has a simple premise of 4 players having to hunt a 5th player who's controlling a giant monster. However, this game was stuffed full of microtransactions, including one of the main monsters you can play as, and it was also just very grindy to level up your characters and took forever to actually get into a lobby to play. But worst of all, it was just really boring. But then, in 2020, Turtle Rock made their biggest announcement yet. A brand new game that'd be a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead with new mechanics, modern graphics, and a mountain of new ideas called... To say I was excited for this game is an understatement. I was so hyped, I was constantly checking social media for any updates I could find. And when it finally did become available for pre-order, I didn't just buy it, I bought the Ultra Deluxe Edition with all the DLC packs because I had so much confidence that this game would be as good as Left 4 Dead. Its biggest selling feature to me was the new card system, which allowed players to pick their own buffs and power-ups for the campaign so they could build around a certain playstyle, like specializing in melee weapons or healing other players, while still having that core gameplay that Left 4 Dead had. I was so confident that Turtle Rock would do a good job that even if it was just Left 4 Dead with more bells and whistles, I'd still be happy to play it because I love that game so much. Why wouldn't I want more of it to play? And then, the day finally came. I downloaded the game, and I soon found myself in Fort Hope. Oh cool, I get an actual hub to explore and it's not just menus. Well, that's a nice touch. Well, let's start level 1 and see what this game has to offer. Okay, still waiting to find a game. That's fine, I'll just do the single player and... oh, I don't get any of the rewards or achievements for doing it solo because it's training mode. Okay, I guess I'll just keep waiting. Okay, I'm finally in a game. And jeez, these enemies hit really hard. This team must be playing on hard mode or something. Let me just check. Oh. Yeah, my first few days playing this game were rough. I spent a lot of time at the shooting range just waiting to get into a game, and when I finally did, I got killed almost immediately because this game is really hard, even on the easiest difficulty. I died in the finale of the first part of Act 1 so many times that I was convinced it was impossible without a full team of extremely skilled players. Mind you, it's the 4th level out of 13 in Act 1. So I stopped playing for a few days, thinking there'd be a balancing patch released, or maybe the single player mode would actually let me have rewards so I could actually practice the levels and get some new items to help me before heading back online. And about a month later, we got our first major patch. Okay, they did fix some balancing, and they also made a bunch of player abilities weaker and enemies a lot stronger because some players found a very specific build that breaks the game and posted it online. Okay, I guess I'll wait for the next update in another month or so. Oh, it looks like they did the same thing, where some things got better balancing-wise, but others went in the completely opposite direction. So now the game's still hard, but for different reasons. Well, they're at least fixing bugs, right? No, those are getting worse too? Well, looks like they finally added single player, so maybe I'll practice offline and... Oh, the bots are useless and single player is basically unplayable. And I still can't beat the first couple levels on recruit difficulty because of the balancing issues. Turtle Rock, it's been 2 full months and this game is still full of bugs, and you only seem to be focusing on random players posting the newest broken build online instead of balancing it for regular players that just want to play the game. I've been very patient for the last 2 months and this game just keeps getting worse with every update, and the bugs and difficulty just keep adding up. And you know what? I'm done ignoring all these major problems. This game sucks. You really couldn't come up with any new special infected, so you just took the 3 that you had and made 3 variations of those? They're still the same ones, they just look slightly different. Also, I get this card system is one of the biggest selling points, but most of these cards are so dumb. Oh look, plus 8% movement speed. Yeah, I'm sure that'll help. And what's with these percentages? Did you just enter random numbers to fill the deck? I mean, I wish I could be getting new cards, but I can't unless I play more levels to get the points to buy them, but I can't beat the levels because the cards I have just aren't helping me, and it's just an endless cycle of wasting time. And why can't I have a decent single player like in Left 4 Dead? No, I'm done. Clearly you want this to be something I con 3 friends into buying just for us to grind at so you can sell this stupid forced multiplayer narrative. But I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to do what every angry gamer does when they buy a game that lets him down. I'm going to uninstall it, I'm going to leave an angry review, and then I'm going to play something else. Let's see, what am I going to play today? I could try that. Nah, I'm not in the mood for that. The new Call of Duty drop, that might be worth looking into. Oh yeah, this game. God, what a mess it was. I never even beat the final boss, or played any of those DLC packs I pre-ordered. Man, that was dumb of me. Well, it looks like everything's out now, and it's got a bunch of updates. I guess I could give it a try. Worst case, I'll give up after like half an hour. Oh my god. It's exactly what I wanted 3 years ago. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's actually fun. I don't feel like I'm barely getting by anymore. I feel like I'm the god of death and these zombies should fear me. A ton of updates were made to the combat, so my weapons actually feel like they're doing damage, and while I still have a ton of zombies to fight, it actually feels manageable, even during the harder levels. They improved the combat so much that I actually think recruit difficulty is too easy for me. I went from barely being able to beat the first few levels to just breezing through them. And I know they rebalanced the combat because I used the exact same build I did in 2021 and saw a massive difference. Not only that, look at all the new stuff they added. They now have zombie hives, which serve as a bonus level where you go into a cave to find rare items and race to the exit. But when you find one, you get to skip the current level you're on, which is great if you're stuck on a hard one and you happen to find one along the way. There's also new items like food, which offer small boosts during the levels you're on, and items that if you find and return to the safe room offer extra bonus rewards, plus a ton of new weapons like iron claws, which are just a really fun melee weapon to use. I can't believe how much has changed since I first played. It honestly feels like an entirely new game. But I still have one burning question. After all these years, can I finally beat the final boss? I tried so many times to beat him when I played years ago, but kept getting swarmed and killed by enemies in the first phase. But now I've got a brand new deck of buffs and I've already finished the rest of the game. Alright, let's do this. Here we go, first phase. Alright, just gotta shoot the tentacles and crap, they spray acid when I break them? Alright, just gotta jump out of the way and there's so many enemies here, I just gotta, yes, got him! Alright, phase 2, I gotta shoot his mouth. Crap, he hits hard. Open your mouth, you freaking jerk, and let me shoot you. Don't take that out of context. Alright, here we go, and yes, got him! Final phase! I just gotta find and shoot the weak points, and where the heck are they? Crap, I got downed again? Come on and revive me, I only have a couple minutes left. Oh, come on, where the heck are your stupid weak points? This is getting dumb. Ah, there's one there? How am I supposed to get that one? Oh shoot, I'm almost out of time. I just got out, and yes! I did it! I finally beat this game! Take that, you abominable jerk! Turtle Rock, I can't believe I'm saying this, but you did it. You actually did it. You made the game good. The game that brought me so much frustration years ago is now fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still full of bugs and still has some frustrating moments, but there's a pretty enjoyable game to be found here, especially if you're looking for a game like Left 4 Dead. And if you're like me and you played it in 2021 only to get extremely disappointed, I'd honestly recommend giving it another go. It's definitely gotten a lot better since release. I was not expecting to be nearly as impressed as I was with the current state of the game, but it's definitely improved a bunch since its initial release, and I highly recommend you give it a try. I think it shows that just because the game releases in a terrible state, doesn't mean it can't improve itself through several updates, especially if it has a passionate development team and a really good fan base to help support them along the way. I am curious though if we're going to get a sequel in the near future, and if we do, I hope Turtle Rock takes everything they learned from their first game and applies it to the sequel. I really don't want to have to wait another 3 years after it releases to actually be able to enjoy it. But thank you for coming with me on this journey to explore Back 4 Blood's redemption. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya!